Hey, peace, power, and profit, everybody. Welcome. Oh, wait a minute. I don't even know if you can hear me. I suspect that you can. Welcome to Urban Economic Empowerment Show. um, let's talk about these taxes. You all got to make sure you got it together. So let's get into this article by H&R Block about taxes. All right, it says new tax laws for 2025. Recent change, recent tax law changes maximize your tax refund. At a glance, many new tax laws for 2025 were part of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which included significant changes, included expanded tax brackets, deductions, and new credits to help taxpayers maximize refunds. Form 1099-DA for crypto transactions and Form 1098 VLI for car loan interest are new for the 2025 tax year. Tax laws change every year, but 2025 is different. With the One Big Beautiful Bill, there were sweeping changes to the tax code, and some could put extra money back in your pocket when you file taxes in 2026. Lowering what you paid in taxes is good news. But the best part, you don't have to figure it out alone. Whether you file yourself or work with a tax pro, H&R Block is here to help you navigate these new tax laws and make the most of your refund. So you can get a tax preparer or you can do it yourself. The choice is yours. I'm not promoting H&R Block. I'm just merely using their article to share information. Okay. All right. So let's go. 2025 tax changes and new rules to know about. As tax season kicks off, it's time to see what changes happen in the tax code for from 2024 to 2025. Well, what changed? A lot. And most of the changes came from the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. So that's new this tax season that can save you money. So what's new? From tax breaks on overtime and tips to bigger deductions and credits, these changes and updates could make a real difference in your refund. All right, you guys, if you jump on there, you gotta let me know because I have to. All right, let's dive in 2025, did you sell crypto and digital assets? An IRS new tax rule for digital income and assets means you may see Form 1099-DA if you traded in crypto or use crypto or other digital assets to pay for goods or services through a broker. While digital assets sales have always been taxable, the form is brand new this year. It will be sent at the end of January or mid February, depending on the activity it's reporting. Keep in mind, even if you don't get a Form 1099-DA, you will still need to report your income. Earned overtime. If you put in extra hours in 2025, you could keep more of what you earn. A new tax rule from OBBBA will allow eligible workers to claim a deduction for qualified overtime pay, up to 12,500 for unmarried taxpayers and 25,000 for married joint taxpayers. Review all the details about this deduction, doubled, no tax on overtime. You will see on your W-2, there's a block on the bottom, and I want to say it's block 14. You may see your overtime in that block. I think that's the one of the new changes is on the W-4. Earn tips. One of the tax changes for 2025 lets certain tipped workers get a tax break on up to 25,000 of tips earned tipped income. The new rule covers a wide variety of workers from food services and the hospitality industry to digital content creators and much more. If that sounds like you, find out the details on what tips count for this new deduction, also known as no tax, no tips. No tax on tips. Pay state and local taxes. The SALT. Homeowners and property owners may have heard the SALT deduction cap increase. The cap is now 40,000 up from 10,000. The bump cap the bumped cap may make it more advantageous for some to itemize versus claiming the standard deduction. This change could be one of the strategies to maximize under 2025 tax rules, especially for those states with higher taxes. All right. Yes, it was very difficult to itemize because it was just so much. So let's look up what are the salt tax deductions. Let's look that up. What is salt tax deductions at a glance? The state and local tax deduction allows you to deduct certain taxes you've paid to the state and local governments from federal taxes if you itemize deductions. You can deduct up to 40,000 adjusted for inflation in state and local taxes for tax years 25 to 2029 for the most following status. If you make over 500,000 or 250,000 if married filing separately, the SALT deduction is reduced. The state and local tax deduction allows you to deduct certain taxes you've paid to state and local governments, like taxes paid on wages and real estate taxes on owned property, and sales tax from the federal taxable income. It you can only claim the SALT deduction if you itemize your deductions, meaning you're not claiming the standard deduction on your tax return. With the enactment of the One Beautiful Bill Act, the maximum amount of deductions has been increased. This increase may change whether it makes sense for you to itemize deductions versus claiming the standard deduction when you file your return. You may want to reevaluate your situation with these changes, especially if you live in a high tax state. All right. So that's the SALT. Turn 65 or older. Another one of the 2025 tax changes to take note of is for seniors. Eligible taxpayers in this age group can now take an extra deduction of 6,000. While the provision is not a Social Security deduction, any income, including taxable Social Security income, could be lowered with this new deduction for seniors. Receive payments from third party platforms. If you sold items online via platforms like Etsy or eBay, or you were paid via apps like Vimo or PayPal, you could receive a 1099K. The new tax laws in 2025 increased the reporting threshold for this form back to $20,000 and 200 transactions. Keep in mind, you still need to report this income even if you don't get a form. Have children? Families with children could see bigger tax breaks this year. Changes in the big bill resulted in updates for the child tax credit increased to $2,200, and adoption credit up to $5,000 is now refundable. For those with kids over 17 or adult dependents, the credit for other dependents was made permanent. Lastly, families with children under 18 can open a new Trump savings account as part of their tax return. Get a loan for a new American made car. If you bought a qualified vehicle after December 31st, 2024, you might be able to deduct the interest on your car loan. The value of this deduction is up to 10,000, so it's worth checking if your car meets the requirements for the car loan deduction, interest deduction. A major purchase for your business. Self employed taxpayers and business owners, this one's for you. You can deduct 100% of cost of qualifying equipment in 2025 if the property was placed into service on or after January 2025. This 100% bonus deduction applies to investments such as machinery, equipment, technology, upgrades, and more. More of the bill changes and new tax documentation for 2025. The bill makes the largest standard deduction created under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act permanent. What's more, the amounts for 2025 are slightly expanded. Single or married filing separately, $15,750. Head of household, $23,625. And married filing jointly or qualified surviving spouse, $31,500. In addition to expanding standard deductions, federal tax brackets and other amounts are typically adjusted each year for inflation. And other documents for 2025 taxes. Depending on your tax situation, you may need to gather the following forms and documents due to the new tax laws in 2025. 1099-D8 for crypto and digital asset sales. Form 1098-VLI, or a statement provided by your lender for vehicle loan interest paid on cars that qualify for the car loan interest deduction. Pay stubs if you've worked overtime. W-2s or tip records if you have eligible tip income. Proof of state and local taxes paid. This deduction isn't new, but the new cap may make it relevant to you. Social Security numbers for newborns and children for Trump savings accounts. Let's look at the tax bracket. So here's your new tax bracket. When someone asks you, what are your 2025 tax brackets, they could be referring to this capital gains tax rate, dividends tax rate, marginal tax rate, FICA tax rates, or withholdings rates or bonuses. Not sure which one applies? Don't worry. Here's the outline. Basics on federal income tax rates. Federal income tax brackets are divided into several brackets, each reflecting a higher federal income tax rate as income increases. You pay higher federal income rates on as your income rises. To determine the marginal rate, which is the highest tax federal tax bracket, you need to do two things. What's your filing status? If you're married, file single, married filing jointly, married filing separate, or head of household, or qualifying spouse, survivor spouse. Your taxable income, believe it or not, your taxable income isn't only equal to your wages. Rather, it's the total of your taxable income sources, which may also include investment interest and taxable retirement distributions, minus any adjustments and tax deductions. These several federal tax brackets apply to most types of incomes except the certain capital gains and dividends. You may be asking yourself, what tax bracket am I in? The federal tax bracket can shift slightly each year into inflation adjustments. So you have to reference the specific year for the income tax brackets. Here we'll outline the current tax brackets and corresponding 2025 tax rates. There are 7 tax rates for 2025: 10%, 12%, 22%, 24%, 32%, 35%, and 37%. For each tax bracket, the second number shown in the table below is the maximum amount for the tax rate, and the next tax rate starts $1 above it. For instance, the 10% rate for a single filer applies to taxable income up to $11,925, while the 12% rate starts at $11,926. So here you go. I gave you a little boost. All right. Zero. I wish this would go back to zero. The first 11,000 be zero taxes. Like, why are we taxing $11,000? That's not even. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Well, here's y'all's tax bracket right here. And for those of you who are balling, this y'all's over here. Yeah. Go figure. And the 26 and the taxes, 26 tax rates. Here's the upcoming tax rates. Yep. New Year tax rates are already out. Yep. Yep. All right, y'all. That's the little savvy little overview. Let me see. So, y'all want to check out if you got an electrical vehicle tax credits. Don't make sure you take advantage of that. Home. Oh, and if you purchase a vehicle and you didn't tell your dealer that they could not have your credit, you might have gotten a letter in the mail. Don't ignore that, okay? Because you're going to need to file it. And I'm surprised if they did not give you a call. Yep, happened to someone I know. All right. Yep. So that's that. Lots going on with the taxes, okay? Hey y'all. There's so much going on with the taxes, the changes, and some people they just like, oh, I got extra money in my paycheck. Yeah. But you need to know why. Those of you who are freelancing, yes, they come and see about you guys. Okay. Um, hey contrarian, I ain't seen you in a long time. You need to come up here and give me some text tips. What's up, Sunny? Oh, hey Angel, what's going on? I was just reading an H&R block. I have Verizon, so my phone is man down. So I was like, you know what? Let me jump on a live real quick. Whatnot. I Kristen, I usually have some people hit the panel and come and join me. We could talk about. I know a lot of you guys probably made some money this year, and y'all scared to file those taxes because y'all withdrew. But it's okay. Go on and file it, and then take advantage of the deductions. You'll be okay. It's gonna be all right. Let's see. Well, that's all I wanted to share. Be honest with you, I want to do some business, talk about some business tax stuff, but I can't right now because time has gotten away from me and I gotta go study. But anyways, I hope you all, if you haven't filed already, go ahead and start uploading your information and get ready to file your taxes. Okay. So that's my quick little spiel for this evening. My friends didn't come out to play. Happy birthday to Andre. He's probably in the streets somewhere. Happy birthday, Andre. Peace, power, and profit, everybody.